So how do you actually create usable B-roll footage these days using modern AI video tools?
Hello, I'm Raj from the Creative AI Show, and today we're breaking down B-roll, what it is and how to use AI to make your videos look way more professional without hiring a film crew.
Quickly, B-roll consists of those crucial little cutaway clips, the scenery, the hands doing something, or a close detail that fill the gaps between your main talking head segments. These clips act as the essential glue that connects disparate scenes, layers an atmosphere, and most importantly, helps control the pacing of your narrative flow. When producing content for the web, having truly good B-roll footage is the key differentiator between amateur editing and something that successfully captures and holds viewer engagement. In the AI space, there are a few distinct ways to generate video: text to video, using a starting image to video, or stacking multiple elements together for a complex clip. The desired output for most B-roll transitions should typically be very short, aiming for about 5 seconds maximum to keep the energy high. While some platforms allow for much longer renders, for typical B-roll usage, you want punchy, short segments or rapidly intercut angles that enhance the primary footage. Now, let's look at 3 popular AI tools and how I practically deploy them when I need usable B-roll footage fast. First up is Kling, which functions brilliantly as a very fast text-to-video engine for generating descriptive scenes on demand. If you simply type in a phrase like sunrise over a mountain town with a river, Kling will quickly render a short cinematic clip that matches that precise prompt. A crucial pro tip to remember is checking any watermark options, since some services intentionally lock you out of clean exports without a paid subscription plan. Kling is fantastic for that immediate, wide establishing shot, but you will find the control over subtle camera movements or tiny foreground details to be somewhat limited. If your creative needs demand a wide variety of slightly different shots, you will definitely be clicking the generate button many times to find a few winners. Next, I really like Leonardo because of its inherent workflow, which promotes staying in a creative flow state by iterating on visuals. Instead of starting purely from text, this method lets you generate and refine a set of cohesive still images before turning that collection into a short video sequence. This is perfect for when you need a cohesive B-roll package, one wide shot, one medium angle, and one close-up that all feel like they originated from the exact same scene. For example, I might generate a horizontal image of a bustling downtown intersection and then use motion controls like a slow dolly in for the resulting short clips. The model provides clear choices between prioritizing render speed or the absolute final quality, and you can request multiple outputs to pick the single best one. The main caveat with this approach is that the AI occasionally invents weird spatial issues, such as cars facing the wrong way or objects that defy basic physics. You will sometimes notice inconsistencies in the earlier frames, or the AI will spontaneously hallucinate new objects as it calculates the motion between the existing ones. That's generally not a deal breaker though. It's just part of the generative process, so you generate more variations or use those clips for stylistic, dreamlike inserts. Then we have MidJourney, which is truly excellent when your starting point is an image that you then animate using their built-in features. Their animate function is great for adding low motion to create a subtle parallax effect, or high motion for a more dramatic visual statement. I often rely on MidJourney for close-ups because it absolutely nails fine texture and rich color fidelity, like a coffee machine actively brewing espresso. The motion quality can be inconsistent, however. Too much movement often results in an erratic or unnatural action, meaning subtle, slow motion looks much better generally. MidJourney really shines when the goal is producing mood-driven, highly stylized B-roll that leans into an artistic aesthetic rather than pure realism. So, how do you stitch all this creative generation together into a real editing workflow without constantly losing time to manual processes? This is where an operational tool steps in as that quiet, multifunctional Swiss Army knife built to make your entire post-production life easier. Instead of manually rendering dozens of clips and then finding the best bits, this system reads your long-form content and automatically finds the gold nuggets, including B-roll moments. Imagine dropping in a 30-minute tutorial and the AI identifies and extracts moments that will perform well as short, punchy clips all by itself. That core function saves you hours by eliminating the tedious manual hunt for those perfect, short, engaging cutaways that elevate your edit. Another massive benefit is the scheduling feature, allowing you to set a posting frequency and letting the AI handle the tedious task of planning content across all platforms. The content calendar feature truly becomes invaluable for teams who need to coordinate exactly when specific pieces of content are going live across various social channels. It also manages format conversion, intelligently generating the correct vertical crop and caption suggestions so your B-roll looks native everywhere you post it. While I love the operational speed, remember that Kling excels at establishing shots, Leonardo at composition, and MidJourney at pure texture and mood. The trade-offs are always in the balance between price, the level of creative control you need, and how much trial and error you are willing to tolerate in the motion generation. Where this system becomes the ultimate practical partner is in repurposing. Use the other tools for creation, but feed the long footage here to automate the extraction and publishing. It turns creative experimentation with new AI shots into a scalable, repeatable content machine that consistently delivers results without constant manual oversight. A few practical tips for when you are generating your own B-roll. Always keep those transition clips short, starting around 5 seconds unless you have a strong narrative reason to extend them. Always try to generate or collect a visual set, wide, medium, and close-up, so your final edits can intercut together seamlessly and build a richer visual scene. Remember that motion control is key. Subtle, slow parallax, or a gentle dolly move reads as cinematic, whereas fast, erratic animation often breaks the feeling of realism. Always watch out for those subtle AI artifacts, because if realism is your main objective, you should be conservative with which generated clips you ultimately trust in your final edit. One final ethical note. If you create a hyper-realistic scene that could potentially be mistaken for actual documentary evidence, you must be transparent about its AI origins. To wrap up, B-roll is a small part of the total timeline, but a massive lever in determining how polished and professional your final video ultimately feels to the viewer. Use tools like Kling, Leonardo, and MidJourney for the creative inspiration, but always pair that with an operational system to automate the extraction, formatting, and consistent publishing. That balance, combining creative freedom with a workflow that actually ships content reliably, is the absolute key to scaling your video presence effectively. If you have specific questions about writing prompts for better motion or setting up that automated repurposing schedule, drop them in the comments below so we can dive deeper next time. Thanks so much for watching the Creative AI Show today. I'm Raj, and I'll see you all in the next video.